If you wake up with a sore jaw or chipped teeth, you might be grinding your teeth without even realizing it. Today I'm going to explain why people grind their teeth, and a little hint, it's not always because of stress. And I'm also going to explain what you can do about it. So grinding your teeth is also called bruxism, and it is exactly what it sounds like. People literally move their jaws back and forth and start wearing their teeth away. Now, this could also be someone clenching their teeth. They're kind of in the same category. So either you're clenching your teeth together like that, or you are moving your teeth back and forth and just shaving them down. Now, this grinding the teeth can happen either during the daytime or at nighttime, or it can happen at both times. Millions of people are grinding their teeth, and most people don't even realize the damage it's doing to their teeth. But this is really important because if you keep doing this, not only are your teeth going to get shorter and flatter, they're also going to be at a higher risk of cracking, of breaking, and especially if you had any dental work done, like any crowns or implants or any root canals, all of this could fail. So that means all that money that you spent on that stuff could be going down the drain. Now, what is a traditional reason that we hear that people grind their teeth? Usually we hear that it's because of stress and anxiety. So if someone's sitting in traffic or someone's really stressed at work, they start grinding their teeth together or really clenching their teeth. Or if someone has a really stressful job or something like that and they're going to sleep stressed out, then they could be grinding their teeth because of that too. But there is a big component to grinding your teeth, especially in your sleep, that people are leaving out. And it has to do with how you're sleeping in the first place, or really how you're breathing when you're sleeping. What studies are showing is that grinding your teeth isn't just a random thing that happens. It's actually linked to sleeping arousals, or little mini awakenings in your sleep. The sequence kind of goes like this. Your heart rate increases, your brain activity increases. Once your brain activity increases, then it signals your breathing rate to increase. And this starts increasing your muscle activity, and this literally causes your jaw to go back and forth and to start grinding your teeth. And one study in particular found that your breathing amplitude, or basically the volume of air that you're breathing, really spikes up right before you grind your teeth. So in other words, in this study, they could actually predict when someone was going to grind their teeth because of just looking at their breathing. So if someone was breathing and then they took a massive inhale, that would be a signal that they're about to start grinding their teeth. This starts to make sense because grinding your teeth is also linked with obstructive sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is when you're literally choking yourself while you're sleeping. Apnea literally means blocked airway. So what happens is you're breathing, and then at one point you literally stop breathing. And this happens multiple times throughout the night. And then take a guess, what happens once you start breathing again? It's not going to be a normal gasp of air. No, you've stopped breathing for like over 10 seconds. So it's going to be a big gasp of air. There's even a case study of a patient that had obstructive sleep apnea, but they also severely grinded their teeth every single night. And then, in order to treat their sleep apnea, they were given a CPAP machine. As soon as they started using their CPAP machine, their grinding their teeth instantly went away. So if you know that you snore or you just don't sleep well and you just don't feel well rested after a night of sleep, you definitely want to make sure you get your sleep checked out, because it could be causing a whole list of other problems that you don't even realize. Now the thing is, it's not always sleep apnea. There are other sleep disorders and other problems in your sleep that could cause you to kind of take a dip in how you're breathing and then take a massive inhale. So even if you don't have sleep apnea, it's still important to focus on your sleep, because that still could be the cause of you grinding your teeth. Now if I'm starting to confuse you, that's totally normal, because this is really confusing even for the scientists. And the other reason it's confusing is because grinding your teeth doesn't just happen every night. It's really hard for these scientists to track it. For example, this study showed that some nights people might be grinding their teeth a whole lot, and then other nights they might not be grinding their teeth at all. This is why the diagnosis can be tricky. And this is why like a one-night sleep study might not be all that you need. So bottom line, if you know that you grind your teeth, it's definitely worth getting your sleep checked. Just know that we're finding more and more about it, and more sleep research has to be done. But luckily, there are ways that you can improve your sleep and actually improve the breathing while you're sleeping. And I'm going to touch on that towards the end of this video, but I'm also going to put a couple links in the description below, because I did talk about this in detail in some of my other videos, so make sure you check those out. But if this sounds like you, what can you do and how can you stop grinding your teeth? If this happens at nighttime or even during the daytime for some people, the simplest solution would be to get a bite splint, or sometimes it's called a night guard. I don't really like to call it a night guard because a lot of times people use it during the day too. It's basically like a thicker retainer that just goes over one arch, so either your top or your bottom teeth. So that way, if you ever grind or clench your teeth, it deflects those forces and protects your teeth. You also want to start addressing the root cause. So if you are really stressed out, like from your job or from other life situations, you want to try to address that. Either adding some sort of stress management throughout your week, like getting a massage or going to the gym. I've literally seen where people quit their job and their grinding their teeth instantly goes away. Now, if it happens during the daytime, this can get a little tricky. It's really just dependent on you catching yourself and in that moment trying to stop yourself. Now, luckily, I did make another video kind of going over an exercise where if you do actively grind your teeth, you can stop yourself in real time. So I'm putting a link to that video in the description below as well. And regardless, if you know that you grind your teeth, it's really important to visit your dentist. This is true whether or not you have jaw pain or like persistent headaches from it, because either way you could still be damaging your teeth. Now, I know I mentioned I was going to go over some simple ways to actually improve your breathing when you're sleeping. The simplest and best thing you can start doing is to start encouraging yourself to breathe in and out of your nose instead of your mouth. So step one would be throughout the day, check and see like random times if your lips are open or closed. If your lips are open, like when you're watching TV or reading a book, that means that you're likely breathing in and out of your mouth. You want to train yourself to regularly breathe in and out of your nose. Nose breathing is not only just way better for you than mouth breathing because it filters the air, it gets rid of viruses and bacteria, it keeps the air more moist and better for our lungs, but also the oxygen delivery to our body is way better when we breathe in and out of our nose. And also there's studies showing that when people breathe in and out of their nose versus in and out of their mouth, they're at a much lower risk of getting sleep apnea. They even took people who were regular mouth breathers and trained them to become nose breathers, and most of their sleep apnea went away or just improved in general. So that's going to be the best thing. And once you're able to breathe in and out of your nose regularly throughout the day, then you want to look into a mouth tape or something that literally just goes over your lips and basically restricts your lips from opening. The goal isn't to completely seal off your lips. It's just to simply resist your lips from opening, so it's like a reminder while you're sleeping to start breathing in and out of your nose. The second thing you can do is a nasal dilator. This is literally a strip that goes over your nose that helps dilate your nasal passages, and this just makes it easier to breathe in and out of your nose. Now again, I talked about this in more detail in some of my other videos, so I'm putting those links in the description below if you want to learn about that. Now with that all being said, what you also got to understand is bruxism or grinding your teeth is still not fully understood. There are definitely multiple factors that go into it. We talked about a bunch of them in this video, but we are learning more and more about it. And your sleep and the way you breathe is one of the biggest things that has recently come out about it. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked that video. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel below, and I will see you in the next video. Ever wonder what actually happens when your dentist tells you that you need a crown? In this video, I'm going to walk you through it step by step from what happens when your dentist takes that x-ray to when you get that crown cemented in your mouth. Also, I might point out a couple surprises your dentist doesn't always tell you. By the end of the video, you're going to know what to expect and what to ask when getting a dental crown. So make sure you